All right, I'm here brewing bottle for episode 4. Let's jump over with Brian and Twan to who we're gonna go see and what we can expect today.
Hey guys, we're excited to go see Steve at Bruno's Home Brewery today. He's got a kind of old school 3-vessel setup. Twan here is going to tell you a little bit about it.
So as you saw in the last episode, we went to Carl's and he had a 3-vessel setup also, but brewed in a bag. So we're going to go see Steve with his 3-vessel setup. He's going to be brewing in his driveway, no bag, straight mash tun, and all electrical, and it's going to be a great time. Hey, check out the sign. Hey, so we're here at Bruno's Home Brewery, and I'm here with Steve Bultman. He is one of the officers at Virginia Peninsula Homebrewers Club, and we're going to check out his system today.
I started brewing in Yorktown at our last house about 5 years ago. I bought a 1-gallon grain system, tried it in my garage and thought it was kind of cool. And then we moved here, and I was talking to some other people that were brewing beer and stuff, and so a friend of mine, Steve Ellis, was interested in doing it. Another friend of mine, Cal Quisenberry, was interested in doing it. So we kind of went together and said, oh, we can do this. So each of us had a different style of beer that we liked. So each of them took a different aspect of porters, and that was kind of their specialty. Unfortunately for us, Cal moved to Florida, so somebody had to take over his role. So we kind of filled that in. But Steve and I have been brewing here for about 5 years. We started out extract brewing, and then actually we said, hey, my brother's an electrical engineer, and he goes, you know, you can build one of those control panel things that really works well. I said, can you build it for me? He goes, yeah, I'll build it for you. So he lives in Michigan. We sent all the stuff to him. He built it, and then he flew down here and we put it into action. So we've been brewing on this system for about 2 years now. We're learning as we do it. How Bruno's got started, we had an English bulldog that loved to be out here anytime we were brewing beer. He would lay right there, and he would sit there and whine at the door to come out and just lay in the garage while we're brewing. We named him Bruno, so that's kind of where it started from. So basically I use Brewer's Friend, which is a computer program. I put all my information in, and then what I do is I run it out here. So it'll take me step by step, each step I'm supposed to do. I'm up to 73 Celsius, which is about 168 Fahrenheit, I believe. We will take that, and then we'll transfer it with the pump into the mash tun, and I'll have Twan stir the grains in for me as I put it in.
Usually this is a 2-man operation. Steve and Steve-O are the brewers here, Bruno's, but Steve-O has prior engagement, so he might join us for the tasting.
Very good.
What I'll do now is once the mash is in there, or the grains are in there and it's mashing, I'll check the temperatures, make sure where we're at before I start actually using the Hermscoil to recirculate. So I let it sit there for probably 5 or 6 minutes just to kind of see where the temperatures are at, and then once we get there, then we'll determine how much heat we have to put back into it.
Alright, so we got this week's Future Tradition beer in our Kanga cooler here. We've got Tradition IPA number 7. So our IPA series is West Coast IPA, and each batch we feature a different single hop. Triumph is a pretty new American varietal. So let's teach Steve how to use his draft top here so you know his first topless Tradition beer. Alright, so you got it fully opened all the way. We're going to grab our can from the bottom so we don't crush it. We're going to get full engagement of our draft top. We're going to give it a good squeeze, and we're going to go back and forth with quarter turns until we hear our 3 clicks. We're going to open it back up, push that top in, and drink topless.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to start circulating into the Hermscoil, which is in the hot liquor tank. So I will take the mash wort and run it through the Hermscoil and then back in and recirculate through, which adds for clarity, and it also washes those grains a little bit better as you're running through. So we'll do that for about 15 minutes or so. Do a gravity reading from the wort just to check to see where we're at. 1065, so we should be about right on. So we're pretty much done with recirculating through. We're going to set it up so we can actually do the sparge out from the hot liquor tank into the wort and then into the boil kettle. So I'm going to move some hoses around and get it set up, and then we can do that process.
So what Steve's doing now is what we would call a runoff. So he's taking all of the wort from his mash tun, pulling off the bottom of there into the boil kettle. At the same time he's doing that, he's sparging. So he's taking hot liquor from his hot liquor tank, going into the top of the mash tun, washing any more sugars out of the grain, and then that eventually turns into wort in the boil kettle, and that's where we get all of our sugars from.
So basically what I've done now is we've got our wort in our kettle. So I have now switched the pumps. I've turned the element on to the kettle, so we'll start the boil. So I'll circulate the water through, and then we'll do that and get the boil going for 60 minutes. Brewing at Bruno, you got to have some food. So we got some hot sausages just off the smoker. Good time to have them while it's boiling. All right, first hop edition of Pearl is going in at 60 minutes. So we're at the 30 minute. We're gonna add the Hersbruckler hops.
So this is the tilt. It's all sealed up, but tilt is a digital hydrometer that you will put into your fermenter, and it shoots Bluetooth readings to your phone or whatever digital device you have and gives you the temperature and the hydrometer readings. And what it does is, as it's sitting in your wort, it's called a tilt for a reason. So as it's tilting, it's giving you a reading, hydrometer reading, and yeah, so you can follow your fermentation from beginning to end without taking a sample, and that's the tilt.
Basically what we're doing is we're taking the boiling wort that's boiling for the last 10 minutes and we're going to run it through the plate chiller just to sanitize that plate chiller automatically. So we'll just recirculate through the plate chiller for a few minutes to sanitize that. All right, we're at the 60-minute boil. We're going to add our last hop addition of the size 2 ounces, and then we are going to turn off the element. So we're going to take our cold water, run it through the plate chiller to counteract the hot liquid that's coming out of the boil tank to cool our wort down to the 70 degrees.
So right now Steve is he's sprinkling in some Safe LO5, and this is dry yeast. And I know a lot of shoppers will they will ask if they should rehydrate the yeast, because on the back of the package it will give you instructions on rehydrating yeast. But I'll tell you, if it's a fresh packet of yeast, just sprinkle it in. It's no problem. It'll rehydrate itself. And most home brewers, I would say 99.9% of home brewers, will have great success with just sprinkling in dry yeast. And he's dropping in the tilt. And boom, we're ready to ferment it. So he's putting it into this freezer that he's got, and he has a control temp, a Inkbird probably, to control the temperature in here. So if you want to aim for a certain temperature, which is critical when it comes to fermentation, this is a great asset to have when it comes to a deep freezer or refrigeration type system, and a Inkbird to control the temperature.
Hey guys, we're at Traditions Brewery. This is Bruno's Brewery. We're going to do the review of the light wheat that we brewed a couple weeks ago. Along with me, I got Steve-O, who wasn't with us for the brew day. Unfortunately, he had to work, but he's here for the review. And then we're going to go inside and drink this topless.
All right, so before we get in these beers, Steve, I want to thank you for letting us come over and brew with you. Steve, we missed you. We wish you were there, but before we get into these, let us know what we brewed and what you think.
Thanks, Twan. Yeah, Bruno's, we did a white wheat. So we wanted to do something that was kind of fun. The summer's coming. So we did that. It's very low in alcohol. It's got a little wheat flavor to it, hopefully a little orange flavor to it. I'm not sure how it actually turned out, but that's part of home brewing is you live and learn.
What are you getting?
Getting a little bit of citrusy, orange going on, maybe a little.
I was going to say orange.
Maybe a little bit of honey.
Yeah.
Aroma
Definitely getting some
going on.
sweetness out of it.
Definitely drinks nice and light, crisp, clean finish to it.
Yeah. You can definitely taste the. It's a wheat beer. It definitely has that wheat flavor to it.
Beautiful finish to it, which makes you want to go back and keep taking another sip.
Yeah.
And
Finish is pretty clean. I get a little bit of tanginess off of it, but pretty good overall.
Unfortunately, Steve-O wasn't here for the brew day, but normal brew day, what we do is I kind of control the heating, the mashing, that kind of stuff. Steve-O kind of controls.
The fun part afterwards, cleaning the mess up.
That's the best part about Bruno's is we have a two-man system. Most breweries have a primary brewer, alternate brewer, whatever it may be, but it's a two-man team. So you saw our system, you know that it's a fairly big system and robust. So it takes almost two people to run that efficiently.
Well, that wraps up episode 4. Thanks so much to Steve and Steve-O for inviting us down to Bruno's Brewery. Thanks to Tradition for hosting our tasting tonight. We'll see you in episode 5.